Hi, I'm here with Dr. Ruth Smith, one of the founders of HBA. Dr. Smith, welcome.
Thank you for having me here.
Well, it's quite an honor to be here at WOTY 25, but to be interviewing you is definitely a highlight in my career. So I want to thank you for everything you've done for women who have not yet joined HBA.
Well, you're more than welcome, but I didn't have the major impact in this organization, but we did get started, and that was an important thing. Back in the 1970s, when we first had our organizational meetings, things were pretty difficult for women who wished to advance, particularly in the corporate world. I know for many of my colleagues who are in the advertising end of things, they saw prejudices that were perhaps more blatantly in their face than I did. It was a little more subtle in the corporate world, as it needed to be. But, I had my share of things back in the 60s when I first moved from quality control advisor into production, which was unheard of. There were no women who ever had gone into production. The manager came to me and he said, "We had our meeting, Ruth, and people were worried. They didn't think you had the balls to do this job." And he looked at me and he said, I told him, "Yes, we all decided she has the balls to do the job. She just wears them in a different place." And in fact, I needed to be flattered over that. That was a great compliment.
Very bold.
Yes, right? So things changed a bit. But my concern is that HBA move forward and still keep its ideals of helping women in healthcare. I think we all need to be less complacent about how far we've come. According to the information that President Obama shared, women still only earn 78% of their male counterpart's salary.
True.
And that is a very big disservice to women. And then discussing with my colleagues some of the facts that are going on today, it's difficult for women to get ahead. Sheryl Sandberg made this big deal about women not aspiring to the very executive roles. But it's so difficult to see that you can do that when you're starting with a family situation. And one of the things that I recall most vividly was a talk when I was in medical school and the chapter president of the American Medical Women's Association at Jefferson. And one of our leaders was commenting and she said, "Things just haven't changed. Now we're no longer in the 60s or 70s. This is the mid-80s. And she says, "Listen, there is no man who stands before you to give a speech and has to think, 'Oh my God, who bought the toilet paper? We're out.'" So we have to change our society a bit too and give women the opportunity to be relieved from some of the more mundane duties. We need to get better child care so that women can aspire to these higher positions. And I'm hoping that Healthcare Businesswomen's Association can move into that in the future.
Well, who knew that in the 1970s you were leaning in before leaning in became very cool?
Well, yes, but on the other hand, I didn't push all the way in the corporate world. In fact, it's pretty funny. When I decided to go to medical school, there were 3 of us who were vying for the next level, group product manager. And the first one was a Harvard MBA grad, and he couldn't wait. He peeled off and went to another pharma company. I decided to go to medical school. I have the Wharton MBA. I walked into the last member at my level who had the Iona MBA, and I walked in and I said, "Congratulations, you're going to be a vice president." And he looked at me. I said, "Well, you're the only one left, so you'll get it." And he did.
Oh.
So,
well, but it didn't bring you down, clearly.
No, I've totally enjoyed my 25 years of practicing medicine. And so that's been wonderful. And now I'm doing consulting work, so I'm bringing together all of the aspects of my career, and I'm very happy about that.
Well, it's been a thrill to interview you, and thank you again for everything you've done to get us to where we are today.
Oh, you're welcome, Leah.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.